Okay, a very good evening. This is the title of the presentation done at the ACE conference. ACE stands for Asian Conference in Education, held on the 24th and 25th of October last year. So basically, this is about Malaysian workforce and their participation in open and distance education. I'm looking at the deterrents. What are the barriers or deterrents or obstacles affecting the workforce need to participate? Okay, I'll show you more in a short while. Yeah. So anyhow, this is the outline. We have the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, findings and discussion, and also some recommendation. Right. Now, this particular title, the one I showed you earlier, is part of another research, a bigger research, all right? The full paper, which is titled Malaysian Workforce Participation in Open and Distance Education, a study of socio-demography, deterrent and locus of control. This is actually a paper which is about 100 pages, all right? And the first part, which addresses participation and socio-demography, was previously presented in a different conference, a HRD conference in Putrajaya somewhere early last year, and that paper also came out in a journal. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is basically the second portion. I'm doing this and this. Okay. The first one was participation and socio-demography. The second one is participation and deterrent. I've got another paper coming, which is workforce participation and locus of control. So what I'm going to present to you is basically workforce participation, Malaysian workforce participation, and what is deterring them from participating in open and distance education. Yeah. Okay. Now, my background is business, organization, and human resource, not tutor management. All right, we from the business organization and HR, we believe in creating knowledge workforce. Okay, knowledge workforce, and we create knowledge workforce for global use as well as for Malaysian use through human capital development. Now, the word sounds a little bit bombastic, human capital development, but basically it's workforce learning, teaching the workforce, making the workforce know what something better than what they already know. Okay, it could be learning at the workplace. It could be education at on a part-time basis in a university. It could be just about anything. Yeah. So in 2001, we know for the first time in Malaysian history, matured learners formed the majority to one particular university, OUM. If you look at all the other universities, majorities are people who just leave school. But for the first time, there was a phenomenon that was happening in Malaysia whereby majority learners in a particular university were matured learners. All right. Now, these are some of the plans by the government in order to create this knowledge-based workforce. So if you kindly look at this, we have, when we say long-term planning, we have the Vision 2020. There are sections in it that talks about workforce being knowledge-based and so on. And then let's look at the next blue one, which is the third outline perspective plan. We call it the OPP3, which is a plan for 10 years. Then we have the MSc, we have the second industrial master plan, which is for another 10 years. Then let's look at the medium-term planning. And all these are government-based plans in order to create knowledge-based workforce. Yeah. So we have the 5-year development plan, such as the 9th plan, and then the MTR, and of course the short-term planning, the annual budget that is presented by the Prime Minister. Okay. Now this research. All right. Now, this is an exploratory study. As I said just now, it's a phenomenon. So, in order to find out what is actually happening, one does an exploratory study. All right. So, if you look at the outcome is supposed to be a comprehensive source of data on workforce participation in formal adult education via open and distance education. Now, why I have highlighted red is to show that this is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, we will not discuss who are the participants, are they young, are they old, are they women, are they men, are they from the government, are they from the private. We are not going to talk about that. We are also not going to speak probably on the needs, probably I'll show, but we will not indulge in that. But what we will be looking at are the deterrents. What are the deterrents that is prevailing when it comes to workforce in open and distance education, yeah, and we won't even look at the locus of control. I'm just putting it here because this is basically the objectives of the research questions of the study, yeah. Okay, so what's the problem? So the problem, we do know that the number of working adults, huge number, but somehow or other they withdraw or they become inactive. And then they drop out, some of them drop out. So we want to know why. Why are they dropping out? Of course, there are many barriers or obstacles or deterrents. What are they? And what can we do about it? That is the purpose of this, yeah? All right, let's go to the next one. So it's a quantitative study because we would like to generalize it to the entire population, yeah? So that is the reason why a quantitative study was done to generalize. Now, this is the IV and the DV. Is it big enough? Okay. Now, this is the IV, the independent variable that's on the left and the dependent variable that's on the right. Research would normally look like this, all right? So, as I said, sociodemography was part of the variable. Locus of control was the other variable. We are just looking at the middle, which is the deterrent. If you look here, we have 4 deterrents: situational, institutional, dispositional, and informational. We'll go through each and every one in a short while because I do want you to know what is a situational deterrent, what is an institutional deterrent, what is a dispositional deterrent, and what's an informational deterrent, yeah? And how this affects the need to participate, okay? Because when one comes to OUM or one indulges in a form of learning, there is a need that they want to achieve, yeah? There is a need and they want to achieve that need. But while they are doing that, what is it that comes along the way and makes them become inactive or drop out or leave the program, yeah? Or just makes them give probably, basically inactiveness lah. So we just want to take a look at that. And let's look at the DV. All right. Now the DV is the need to participate, or you see some literature, if you look, they call it participation needs. Somehow some other works they call it needs to participate. I mean it is the same lah, yeah? So participation needs or needs to participate. If we look at it, we do know that people participate in ODE because they want to improve their communication. If you look now, many people, especially from the workforce, they are coming on board to OUM because they want to improve their English language. When they see our modules are in English, they come on board because they say we want to improve our English. Okay? Some come because of social contact. What better place to find a spouse than in a university? You know? Where intelligent people roam around. Okay? I mean, social contact. Also, I know among some of my students, they sell insurance. Where better to go and look for people than a university, So social contact. We do know of a very old student of ours, Pak Engku, not Pak Ungku but Pak Engku, which is Tunku Zain. He is about 80 years old now. I'm sure he's coming here for social contact. I'm sure he's bored at home, so he's coming here for social contact. And we do know that people also come here for educational preparation. They can't go to an IPTA, so they come to OUM and do their basic degree, then they do their MBA and MM and PhD in other universities. So it's an educational preparation.